Hello everyone and welcome to the third panel discussion brought to you by Minds of IIM. It is indeed our pleasure to be back to discussing and sharing opinion about business phenomena after a long gap, something which we all love doing here. Now today we talk about a rising force in the world of business. With the rapid development that the world has seen, which has been aided by the burst on the IT stage, data has been generated in quantities that has been unheard of or it has been unheeded to so far. Suddenly, we have woken up to the power that this data possesses and the promise it holds. Now, talk has gone from gigabytes to terabytes, and now it is being talked about in exabytes and yottabytes in all but a few years. Now, businesses are looking back at their data to analyze what went wrong and what could go wrong. Political campaigns have become more data-driven than ever before. Countries are shaping up to develop competencies in data management and analysis, and finally, our planet is now better equipped to answer the questions posed by the mysteries of the universe. And in all this, the job of an analyst or a data scientist is suddenly in vogue for its challenging prospects and its mentally stimulating nature. We are, friends, as you might have guessed already, here to talk about big data. So today we have panelists who have experience in working and studying in the fields that directly relate to big data. Firstly, we have Mr. Nitin Verma, who is an FPM student at IIM Ranchi and specializing in analytics. Welcome, Mr. Nitin.
Thank you.
Next, we have Mr. Abhishek Srivastava, who is also an FPM student at IIM Ranchi, also specializing in analytics. And welcome, Mr. Abhishek. Then we have Mr. Manoj N, a second year PGDM student who has experience in data management jobs at New Sigma and Tesco. Welcome, Manoj.
Hi, Abhishek.
And then we have, it's our pleasure rather to welcome our first year PGDM student, Mr. Sanjay Satishan, who has worked on fields like data warehousing at Capgemini Consulting. Welcome, Sanjay.
Hi.
So, we will be trying to address four major questions in this discussion. The first of which is to understand what the phenomena of big data actually is. Now, there have been many definitions of big data prescribed by many different journals or many companies or consultancies. But here we are trying to get a general idea of what it is. And most importantly, we are trying to understand if it is worth the hype. So, Mr. Abhishek Srivastava has some points to offer on this.
Big data has been described as the next frontier for innovation, competition, and productivity. If information is the oil of 21st century, then we can definitely say that big data analytics is going to be the internal combustion engine of it. Now, how do we define big data? There have been many definitions, but one of the most agreed definitions for big data has been given by McKinsey Global Institute, and it states that big data are data sets that typically lie beyond the processing abilities of the traditional database systems that we currently have or the computing facilities that the organization have. To understand what big data is, the 5 V's are used, which describe the characteristics of the big data. These 5 V's are velocity, variety, volume, veracity, and the value. By volume, basically we refer to the size, it has been increasing continuously. By velocity, we refer to how the data how the speed of data collection is increasing, like every day new data is being uploaded at Facebook or social media website. Internet of Things is generating a lot of new data. By velocity, volume, then we have variety. Now this is the important part. Traditional database has been basically handling the structured data, but in today's scenario, a lot of data that is being generated is basically in unstructured format. More than 85% data is in unstructured format, which traditional database can't handle. Then we have veracity. Veracity refers to the authenticity and the quality of the data. Apart from this 4 V, the most important V is the value. How much value you can get from this big data. And here analytics come into the picture, which can help you in deriving the big insights from the data.
Yeah. And it is just about time that big data has got its importance. Time magazine has actually come out with an issue some time back, and it has claimed that this is the next big wave. And within big data, they are talking about text analytics and so on. So this was going to happen. The rate at which we have been accumulating data, this was only going to happen.
So, like both of you said, for me, big data is what exactly you both said, but I kind of think of it in a simpler terms. So, earlier days, husband and wife used to plan for the family. They used to make a budget and then they used to spend. And then the spend becomes excess. There are errors in the budget and what has been spent. They sit and find out what has gone wrong. They say my kid has spent more or I spent more on makeup. And then they decide how to do it for the next month. So this is small data, you're able to do it. So when this is turned into companies and organizations and countries, you have huge amounts of data that you cannot simply see and understand. So what happens is your tools that you have, even if you put in Excel or write down or whatever, you won't be able to easily manipulate the data that you have, and that's where big data comes in. Big data is just what it literally means. It's just data that is big.
Yeah, I would just like to add on what our friend said. Basically, there's a hype which is going on around us that big data is just a scaled up form of data warehousing. But right, just as our friend Mr. Tripathi said, data is the thing which differentiates big data from data warehousing is the complexity in processing the data. The traditional data warehouse techniques are not able to keep in par with the huge increase and the outrage of the expansion of data. So, just if you take some statistics here, in today's world, we have about 12 TB of data generated per day from your LinkedIn post, about 6 TB of data generated from your Twitter tweets, social networks. So, and it is estimated that by year 2015, we'll be having 9.8 zettabytes of data floating around. So, in lieu of all this, it is where the traditional data warehousing stops and the new big data management comes in.
So I guess we've had a fairly good idea of what big data is. Fairly different opinions. Someone uses an analogy of oil, which is a very fair analogy, and then someone describes data in terms of how families have used it and how it basically develops into a big firm, which is a literal firm. But what we're trying to also understand here is that is it worth the hype? Because there have been many competing literatures in this corporate world which many times critique big data as something which is not such a big deal actually, and which has been around always, and suddenly people have woken up to it. And there are some people who praise the power of big data. So we are trying to understand also that if it is worth the hype. So opinions on that?
So I think definitely it's worth the hype, because the critics of big data, whatever they say is big data has not achieved the results that it promises. That simply means that you have not employed big data in the form that you should be employing. So for example, a Snapdeal or a Flipkart will be seeing huge amounts of use because of analytics and data mining and all that. Whereas other companies, retail companies, if they employ the same methods, they won't be able to use it. So it is more in the way how you use it rather than whether big data is actually useful. Big data is useful, but at the end, it all depends on how you use it. So it's not hyped up. It is definitely useful, but then you need to understand it perfectly for you to leverage it.
So I would just like to add, not a hype, because we have live examples like the Google Flu trend analysis, where Google came with an innovative big data project where we will be able to not only study the pandemics which is happening, but even predict like where the flu can spread. Apart from this, we even have reports from McKinsey surveys which say that US has generated about $300 billion just from efficiently implementing big data projects.
So like, as we all are from analytics background, so even to measure this word hype, we can apply some statistical techniques to know whether the particular phenomenon is in hype or not. So for that, the tool which we use is basically Gartner Hype Cycle. As you can see in your monitor right now, the hype cycle is something like this. First, there is an innovation trigger. A new technology is developed or a new innovation happens, and it triggers a lot of things. From innovation trigger, we move on to the peak of the expectations, peak of inflated expectations rather. And it's here where the bubble actually burst. Like in late 90s, you have a dot-com bubble burst, where there was a lot of expectations about the dot-com boom and everything, and suddenly the bubble burst. Then from this peak of inflated expectation, there is a trough of disillusionment, and from this trough you go have a slope of enlightenment, and then there is a plateau of productivity. And here the things stabilizes, and the actual value from any new technology or innovations can undertaken. So right now, big data is probably at the peak of inflation, peak of inflated expectations, and for next couple of years, there might be a certain downfall, there it might be certain disillusionment, and then we'll go for slow path enlightenment and plateau of productivity. In terms of big data, the time range is roughly around 5 to 7 years where we can reach the final plateau of the productivity.
So does this suggest that before we reach the stage of enlightenment, there is little or no productivity in this?
No, there has been productivity, but as he pointed out certain figures, big data has a lot of value, a lot of productivity addition can happen. So we are just on the surface right now.
So maybe the technologies are not that advanced to make use of all the data which can make productivity, and we are slowly moving to that stage now.
Yes, yes.
You can actually also look at this entire concept of, where we are in the big data cycle right now. You can actually look at it from the product life cycle perspective. Whenever there is a new product, it actually goes through a maturity phase. It starts, innovation happens, more competition happens, more players enter. Then the product finally matures, and then there is growth in the market, expansion, new areas of application are found, and then finally then there is stability. So this is actually following the same cycle, and I'm glad that we also talked about the hype cycle. I mean, this is how actually marketing right now is. So you can't really blame big data alone for it.
Exactly.
I mean, the entire industry, the marketing practices that we employ right now, they actually follow the same product life cycle. So this would happen to anything that is new.
True. So big data also falls under that.
Right.
It's not very different.
Right.
So beautiful. That has given us right now a platform on which to build on the next questions. And for now, after some time, we'll be back with the second question.
So how many minutes did it take?
So this is the end of the first question.